UEFA Champions League returns this week with Manchester United still looking for their opening win. Will it come this weekend at Old Trafford? We're going to take a little look next. Today we'll take a look at, of course, match number 2 in this year's Champions League, and we'll get to that in just 1 second. If you're new, where you've been, smash your subscribe button, bang, all things Rovers related, Championship related, World Football related. We're going to all hear, boys, under one rooski. That's right. Arsenal are up and running, but Man United still need to get their arse in gear. That's right. Can they do it this midweek? We'll take a look at it, all of it, in a second, of course. Big shout out to my VIPs. They are the patrons, of course. You know who you are. But, of course, it's all about this, guys. It is the Champions League, and we are looking forward to it. Of course, match day number 2. That is Ryan, of course, coming at you as well. This, don't forget about our very own Super Brew. What's our Super Brew? It's a prediction league, of course, courtesy of their website. It's free, 100% free. And of course, if you get your picks in now, you can be in amongst it with the big boys. That's me, of course. We're going to get into it right here, right now. Of course, recapping how we all got on last time around. And I can tell you right now, it's not that good. I mean, I'm not that good, but we'll give it a go. Of course, continuing into it might be all right, depending on where we are. So 47 points for me last time around. Not great, but there were some little turdy ones out there. Of course, kicking all off with Young Boys Bern, 3-1 loss. Leipzig with the big W there. Yeah, it was a bit of a shocker. I went against the grain on that one. Meanwhile, the Geordies, 0-0 it was. I went with a 2-0 win for the home side there. Just got the 1 point, of course. Porto, 2-1 win was my pick over Shakhtar Donetsk. 3-1 it was, final score. Ain't too shabby on that one. Barcelona, I did play the booster on that one. Got 8 points for that, so good. 3-0 win was my pick. 5-0 it was in the end. Man City, 4-0 win over Red Star Belgrade. It was the 3-1 final score in the end. Not too bad. Close, but no cigar. PSG, 2-0 win over Dortmund. I went with a draw on that one. Meanwhile, Lazio with a draw against Atletico Madrid. Got the one spot on the nose. Oh, yes, indeed. Feyenoord, 2-0 win over Celtic. I went with a 2-1 win myself. Real Madrid with a 1-0 win over Union Berlin. Tight game there. Lastminute.com winner, 2-0 win in my eyes. Galatasaray with a 2-2 draw against Copenhagen. I went with a 3-1 win. Shit the bed on that one. Benfica lost at home to Salzburg. That's an absolute shocker. Oh my gosh, 2-0 win for me on that one. Sociedad with a draw against Internazionale. I went with a 0-0 draw. It was a 1-1 draw there. Ain't too shabby. Braga did lose to Napoli. 2-1 win. I got the one spot on the nose. Congratulates me. Arsenal with a 4-0 win over PSV. I went with a 2-0 win. Sevilla with just a draw against Lens. I went with a 2-0 win. Nothing on that one. And Bayern 4-3 win over Man United. I got 3-0 win was my pick. So ain't too shabby on that one as well. So 47 is the points, of course. What about the league in the table? Well, not great. I'll tell you what, it's not great. Michael tops charts with 58 points. Blatter's up there with 56. Vinny, could it be Vinny Hong? 55 points for him. That's, of course, the bronze medal position. And then I'm all the way down here into 18th spot. We have a whopping only 22 of yous in there right now. Still plenty of time to play. That's not good for me, though, is it? I'm not even in the barely. I'm in the relegation zone, realistically. Of course, get in it, get amongst it. Of course, see if you can compete with me next time around. Of course, that's, of course, match day number 1, taken care of, put to bed and all that kind of jazz. But what about the tables, of course? Early door tables. Let's take a little look at those then, shall we? Of course, they're coming at you right now. Of course, Bayern top the charts over in Group A, clearing the likes of Copenhagen and Galatasaray. United yet to get going there. Group B sees Arsenal top the charts there with Lens, Sevilla, duked out to a draw. PSV got all the work to do. Napoli, of course, champions of Italy, and of course, champions at the minute of Group C over Real Madrid. Tight group, that one. Braga, Union Berlin got it all to do, coming at you as well. Salzburg, surprisingly, top Group D there with Internazionale and Sociedad on the point. Benfica, winless, pointless at the minute. Final 3 points as well. Atletico Madrid and Lazio shared the points, and Celtic have got a mountain to climb already. Group F, the group of death, sees PSG leading the charge. Newcastle and AC Milan level on points there with Dortmund struggling to get going as well. Then Group G sees Leipzig top the charts alongside Man City. Red Star Belgrade, Young Boys Bern also yet to move, of course. Barcelona and Porto top the charts in Group H. Shakhtar Donetsk, of course, over in Antwerp, bottom of the pile right there at the minute, of course. How do we do this then? Do we do it like that? There we go. Silky switcheroo. And here we go for match day number 2. So let's waste no more time. Of course, games are coming thick and fast, and they're spread over, of course, Tuesday and Wednesday of the 3rd and the 4th of October. We'll start with Salzburg up against Sociedad. That's coming at you this coming Tuesday at the Red Bull Arena. Played each other twice since 2018. 1 for Salzburg, 1 draw and nothing for Sociedad. Biggest win or the only win for Salzburg, 2-1 win. Scoring 4 goals in the 2 matches, a 2 goals a game average. Sociedad yet to get a victory over Salzburg. 3 goals scored though in the 2 games. 1.50 goals a game ratio. Sociedad just 1 defeat past 6 for them. 67% form for them. Of course, Salzburg already up and running under Gerhard Struber. 1 defeat in the last 6 games as well. So last time around over in Salzburg was a 2-1 win for Salzburg. That was in the Europa League knockout stages back in February 2018. Salzburg are in action against SC Austria this week. Expected to win that game. Sociedad taking on Bilbao in a tight game, but they're expected to just nick it in the end, of course. 17-10 is your host here. 23-10 is the draw. 31-20 is your way. I'm going to go with Salzburg here. They've given me some food for thought. 2-0 win for them. And again, I've got to play catch up, so I've got to go for some rogue picks on this one. Union Berlin up against Braga, of course, also on Tuesday, October the 3rd. That's right. Now, these two sides have played each other twice since 2022, 1 win apiece. Of course, the biggest win, the only win for Union Berlin, just a 1-0 win. In fact, they've only scored the 1 goal in the 2 games, 0.50 goals a game ratio. Braga on the same, of course, their biggest win, their only win was a 1-0 win. Of course, just the 1 goal scored as well, 0.50 goals a game. Braga, 58% form for them, back-to-back wins. Of course, no points on the board so far. Union Berlin, a bit of a woeful patch right now. 4 defeats on the spin, 33% form for them, also yet to get going. These two sides did lock horns in the Europa League a season prior, last time around, and Germany was that 1-0 win for Union Berlin. Union Berlin against Heidenheim this weekend. They're expected to win that game. Braga are not in action, of course, this weekend. They were in action yesterday in the top flight in Portugal, so they're looking forward to this one, I imagine. The odds for this, though, we have 2017 on is Union Berlin, 13-5 is draw, 3-1 is your away win. Union Berlin need a result here. I think they'll get a result in Bundesliga. They'll bounce back as well, and of course, make this a fortress. This is where their points are. This is where their Champions League should really take into full account, is their home form. So I do expect a win there. Meanwhile, Internazionale up against Benfica, also on the Tuesday over in Group D at the Giuseppe Meazza. Played each other 5 times. These two sides since 2004. 3 wins for Inter, nothing for Braga, nothing for Benfica, and 2 draws, of course, at the minute. Internazionale, biggest win, 2-0 win, 14 goals scored in 5 matches, 2.8 goals a game. Up against Benfica, 10 goals scored in 5 matches, 2 goals a game average. Benfica on the flip side here, 83% form for them, just 1 defeat past 6. Internazionale, just 1 win and 3 for them, 1 defeat past 6 for them, 75% form for them as well. But Inter haven't lost in the last 10 games. They also haven't lost any last 10 home matches. They won 9 of them in a row. And last time that these two sides played each other in Italy was a 3-3 draw back in April 2023 in the Champions League quarter-final stages. Inter taking on Salernitana this weekend over in Serie A. Expect to win that game. Of course, Benfica taking on Porto in a zinger this weekend over in Portugal as well. The odds on this one then is 5-4 on is your Inter, 11-4 is a draw, 60-5 is your away win. We are going to go with a 2-0 win, I think, for Inter on this one, and maybe come back and play my booster. It's a tricky one though. Porto could surprise us as well. Another one to avoid to play your booster is Napoli against Real Madrid. Which one will show up here? Will it be the champions of Italy? Will it be the champions of Spain? Are they champions of Spain? Correct. I don't know. Did they win it last year? I can't really remember. Played each other twice. These two sides in 2017, 2 wins out of 2 for Real Madrid. Nothing for Napoli. But they scored just the 2 goals in 2 games. That's a goal a game average. On the flip side, the biggest win for Real Madrid was a 3-1 win, scoring 6 goals in 2 matches. That's 3 goals a game average. Real Madrid, 5 wins in the last 6. 83% form for them right now. Napoli just 1 defeat past 6. 67% form for them. A couple of draws in the mix as well. Last round though, in Italy, it was a 3-1 win for Real Madrid. That was back in the round of 16 in March 2017. Napoli picking up a 4-1 win over Udinese most recently. Madrid with a 2-0 win over Las Palmas. They're taking on Girona in a top of the table crunch clash this weekend over in Spain. They're expected to win it. Napoli taking on Lecce. They're expected to win that game. Both sides on the road there, but the visitors here are, of course, Real Madrid. 6-4 is your Napoli, 5-2 is your draw, 70-10 is your away win. I'm going to go with a draw here. Point split right down the middle, 1-1. For me on this one. PSV up against Sevilla. That's right, coming at you as well over in the Philips Stadion over in the Netherlands. 2 wins, 2 matches. The 2 sides that played each other since 2023. 1 win a piece. Of course, 2-0 win was the biggest for PSV, scoring 2 goals in the 3 matches. Sorry, in the 2 matches, 1 goal a game average. Sevilla on the flip side, biggest win for them, 3-0 win. Scored 3 goals in the 2 matches, 1.50 goals a game. Sevilla, though, unbeaten the last 4, 50% form for them right now. Up against PSV, 5 wins the last 6. However, yet to get going in this group, which is, of course, Group B. 7 home matches in a row, though, PSV, and they have also picked up a 2-0 win over Sevilla last time around in the group stages in the Europa League back in February. I believe group stages in February. That sounds a bit in the knockout stage. In the knockout stages, of course, PSV picking up a 3-0 win over Go Ahead Eagles most recently, and of course back-to-back clean sheets, scoring 7 goals without return. Up against Sevilla, of course, just the 1 goal conceded over the last 2 games as well, scoring 5 goals without return. But over the last 2 games, Sevilla taking on Barcelona this weekend, a difficult one. They're expected to lose that game. PSV Eindhoven taking on Volendam at home. They're expected to win that game as well. So back-to-back home games for PSV. 11-10 on it is of course the Dutchies. 5-2 is a draw. 3-1 is your long shots. We're gonna go PSV. Gonna go 2-0 win for them. Sevilla a bit wobbly right now, and of course they'll be licking their wounds from the Barcelona defeat, which of course is coming out this weekend. Lens up against Arsenal, of course, in La France. Now these two sides have played each other just the once. We'll talk about that shortly. Lens just 1 win in 6 for them, 33% form for them. Up against Arsenal, are unbeaten in the last 6 games, 83% form for them. However, in fact, true knowledge here, 11 matches unbeaten. And of course, winning 3 matches away from home on the spin. Last time around was a friendly. It was a 1-1 draw back in 2016. Arsenal picking up a 1-0 over Brentford most recently. Taking on Bournemouth this weekend. They're expected to win. Lens with a 2-1 win over Toulouse. Taking on Strasbourg this weekend. They're also expected to win that game. So tight. Could be a good bit of form for them heading into this one. 70-4 is your Lens. 16-5 is your draw. 7-4 on is of course your Arsenal, which will win. 2-0 win again on this one. Arsenal taking the 3 points, and away they go. Copenhagen up against Bayern Munich, of course, over in Group A. That's right. These two sides have never played each other, according to my eyes, in recent years. Anyway, Copenhagen unbeaten in the last 6 games, 75% form for them. Up against Bayern, also unbeaten in the last 6 games, 92% form for them, winning 5 of the last 6. Of course, Bayern with a 4-0 win over Munster in the DFB Pokal, most recently back-to-back clean sheets. In fact, they've scored what we're looking at here, 8, 14, 15 goals in the last 3 games combined. Meanwhile, Copenhagen, though, scoring 12 goals in the last 2 games combined. Oh, wow, indeed. Copenhagen taking on Midtjylland this week, and they're expected to win. Bayern taking on Leipzig on the road. Difficult game, that, but they're expected to come at it with 3 points as well. 10-1 is your Copenhagen, 6-1 is the draw, 5-1 is your long shots. I'm going to give them a bit of hope here. I'm going to go with a 2-1 win for Bayern on the road, and maybe make that a 3-1 win. Change my mind just in the last second.com. Meanwhile, Man United, a big, difficult encounter here. Man United up against Galatasaray over at Old Trafford, of course. Bit of a zinger, this one. Played each other 3 times in 2012, 2 wins for Man United, 1 for Galatasaray, and 0 draws. Biggest win for United was a 5-2 win, scoring 6 goals in those 3 matches. That's 2 goals a game average. Galatasaray on the flip side, just the 1-0 win was their biggest. 3 goals scored in 3 matches, 1 goal a game average. Of course, Galatasaray were winning 5 matches out of the last 6, unbeaten in the last 13 matches. Up against United, 3 wins, 3 defeats of the last 6, 50% form for them heading into this. Last time around, they're over at Old Trafford was a 1 win for United back in September 2012. They pick up a back-to-back clean sheets at Man United with a 3-0 win over Palace most recently. Galatasaray, back-to-back away wins. Could they make it a 3-peat this week? Well, actually, sorry, that's not going to happen because they're going to take on Akaguncu this week at the top flight in Turkey, and they're expected to win that one. United taking on Crystal Palace again as they go looking for a hat-trick. They'll be looking for a hat-trick, if all goes well, of home wins in a row. That's right. Of course, this could be the springboard for a bit of a reboot for Man United. 5-2 on is United, 7-2 is draw, 13-2 is your away win. It is tight. I'm going to go with a 2-0 win for United on this one, even though I kind of got a hinge that Galatasaray could stump them if everything's going against them. Into Wednesday's games we go now. Antwerp up against Shakhtar Donetsk. Now this match over in Belgium at the Bonsoul Stadion. Played each other never, these two sides. Antwerp coming to this on 58% form, just 1 defeat past 6. Of course, however, just 1 win in 5. Also, not great form. Shakhtar on the flip side, managed by Patrick Van Leeuwen, 2 Dutchies in the dugout. 75% form for them, just 1 defeat the past 6 games as well. Shakhtar haven't lost any of the last 5 away matches, and Antwerp haven't lost any of the last 6 home matches. And of course, Shakhtar coming to this on the back of a 3-0 win over Rivne in the Ukrainian Cup round of 16 with Antwerp pick up a 0-0 draw against Ghent. However, Antwerp haven't scored in the last 3 games. Goodness gracious me. Of course, they're taking on Midtjylland this weekend. They're expected to win that game. Shakhtar taking on Poltava, also probably expected to win that game as well. The odds for this one, we have 2017 on is your Antwerp, 13-5 is draw, 3-1 is your long shots. Smells like a draw, guys. I'm going to go with a 0-0 draw. Antwerp have been scoring blanks of late. Shakhtar will take a point on the road at this stage. In my eyes, Atletico Madrid up against Feyenoord, of course, coming at you this weekend. Played each other just the 1 time. Of course, we'll talk about it shortly. Madrid, 67% form for them right now. Just 1 defeat past 6. They are second in the table with just 1 point. Up against Feyenoord, of course, 5 wins on the bounce. 92% form for them. They are top of the pops with 3 points over over in Group E. Of course, that one and only match was a friendly, so we're not going to look into it too much. Madrid, though, with a big 2-0 win of Osasuna. That was, of course, on the 28th of September. Taking on Cadiz this weekend. They're expected to win that game as well. Fire on the flip side with a big 4-0 win over Ajax. Back-to-back clean sheets for them as well. 6 goals scored without return. Taking on, go ahead, Eagles this weekend, where they're expected to win that match as well. The odds for this one then, shall we? We're looking at Atletico Madrid 7-4 on for the victory, 3-1 is your draw. 9-2 is your away win. Really, I do want to. Final to playing red hot form right now, and of course, I can argue for a victory. I'm going to go with a 2-1 win though for Madrid at home. I think if the games were flipped around, I think it will probably be a 0-0 draw. But going to go with a 2-1 win for Madrid at home. Should come out top with this one. Porto against Barcelona, a bit of a zinger this one over in Portugal. Now these two sides have played each other once. We'll talk about that shortly. Of course, Porto right now 92% form for them right now. Just won 5 wins the last 6. Of course, up against Barcelona, won also 5 wins the last 6 as well. The last time they played each other was in the Super Cup. Get this, back in August 2011, 2-0 win it was for Barca. Barca pick up a 2-2 draw against Mallorca most recently. Porto with a 2-1 win over Vicente Barcelos. They're taking on Benfica this weekend, a bit of a zinger where they're expected to lose, and Barcelona taking on Sevilla where they're expected to win that game as well. But the odds for this one then, shall we, over in Portugal, 11-4 is your Porto, 11-10 on is your Barca, 11-4 is a draw. Porto will not lose this one, so it's either going to be a draw or it's going to be a home win. I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw here. Barcelona picking up a point on the road on this one. Red Star Belgrade up against Young Boys Bern. Now, this is over in Group G. Now these two sides have played each other 4 times since 2004. We've got 1 win for Red Star, nothing for Young Boys. I've got 3 draws, of course. Biggest win for Red Star, 3-0 win, scoring 8 goals in those 4 matches. That's 2 goals a game average. Young Boys Bern on the flip side, 5 goals scored in 4 matches. That's, of course, 1.25 goals a game. Young Boys Bern, 4 wins the last 6. Heading into this, up against Red Star, just 1 win in 3 for them, 50% form for them over the last 6 as well. Last time they played each other over at Belgrade was a 1-1 draw back in August 2019 in the qualification round of the Champions League. Of course, Red Star did lose to Man City most recently, taking on Radniki Nis this coming weekend. They're probably expected to win that game. Young Boys Bern did lose to St. Gallen most recently. They're taking on Grasshopper Zurich as well, 1.65. Heading into this, of course, looking at the odds on this one then, shall we? 23-20 is your Red Star, 13-5 is your draw, 21-10 is your away win here. We're going to go with a 2-0 win. 2-0 win for Red Star on this. And then into the final stretches we go now. The final 4, it is RB Leipzig up against Manchester City over at the Red Bull Arena. Now these two sides have played each other 4 times since 2021. We got 1 win for Leipzig, 2 for City, and 1 draw. Biggest win for Leipzig, 2-1 win, scoring 6 goals in 4 matches, 1.50 goals a game. City on the flip, biggest win for them, 7-0 win, scoring 15 goals in the 4 matches, 3.75 goals a game. City, though, did lose last time round, 82% form for them right now, up against Leipzig, 100% form for them right now. And I've won 9 home matches in a row, and I've got a winning streak of 6 games, of course. But last time I played each other was that 7-0 win, but last time I played each other in Leipzig was back in February 2023. It was a 1-1 draw, of course. Leipzig pick up a 3-2 win over Wiesbaden in the DFB Pokal, most recently taking on Bayern this weekend in a bit of a stinking this one. Meanwhile, of course, City did lose last time around against Newcastle, taking on Wolves. They're expected to tonk them as well this weekend. The odds on this one then, we have 50-4 is your Leipzig, 3-1 is your draw, 20-13 on is your City. I'm going to go 3, it's saying 2-0. I'm going to change that to 3, please. I'm going to go 3-0 on this one. And I might even play my booster on that one. Newcastle United up against PSG over at St. James's Park. Play each other never, these two sides. 58% form for the Geordies at the minute. Unbeaten in the last 4. PSG, there was 75% form for them. Just 1 defeat past 6, of course. PSG picking up a 4-0 win over Marseille. Back-to-back clean sheets up against the Geordies. 4 clean sheets on the bounce. Looking A-OK at the back. Taking on Burnley this weekend. Hopefully the Geordies will turn them over. PSG taking on Clermont Foot. Also expected to win that game as well. 29-20 is your Newcastle here. 30-5 is your 13-8 is your win. This is a tough one to call. I'm going to go with a 2-0 win for the Geordies. Airtight at the back. A couple of goals maybe. They've been free scoring of late, and of course confidence is riding higher suddenly for them as well. Meanwhile, Dortmund are taking on Milan in the other game in the group of death. That is, of course, Group F, the group of death. Of course, played each other 3 times in 2002. 2 wins for Dortmund, 1 win for Milan, and we got 0 draws. Of course, Dortmund at the minute 67% form for them, just 1 defeat at the past 6 up against Milan, or 1 defeat at the past 6. Also 75% form for them heading into this as well. But they have played each other 3 times. 3-1 win was the biggest for Dortmund. 4 goals in the last 3 games, 1.33 goals a game up against Milan. Their biggest win, their only win against Dortmund, was a 1-0 win, scoring 2 goals in those 3 matches, 0.67 goals a game. The last time they played each other in Dortmund was a 1-0 win, 4 AC Milan, goodness gracious me, back in December 2002. Dortmund picking up a 1-0 win over Wolfsburg most recently, taking on Hoffenheim this weekend, where they're expected to win, with Milan beating Cagliari most recently, taking on Lazio, of course, at home, and expected to win that game as well. Over in Dortmund, though, this game, Borussia Park, I think 30-10. Is it Borussia Park? What do they call it? They call it Signal Iduna Park. That's right. 13-10 is your Dortmund, 13-5 is your draw, and 9-5 is your away win. Going to go with a draw on this one, playing it safe down the middle. I can't really decide if Dortmund are any good this year, of course. And then wrapping up, it's Celtic, it's Lazio, it's, of course, matey boy, Brendan Rodgers up against Maurizio Sarri. Sarri ball, that Celtic ball. Played each other twice, of course, 2 wins out of 2 for Celtic, nothing for Lazio. Of course, biggest win for Celtic, 2-1 win, scoring 4 goals in the 2 matches, so 2 goals a game average. On the flip side, Lazio have just scored the 2 goals against Celtic. That's a goal a game average. Celtic on the flip side, 58% form for them, just 1 defeat in the past 5. Up against Lazio, of course, 50% form for them right now, 1-2 lost to and drawn to. Celtic have not lost any of the last 23 home matches, and I don't think they're going to lose this one either. Of course, last time around, though, over at Glasgow, it was back in October 2019, it was a 2-1 win for Celtic. Celtic beating Livingston most recently, of course, taking on Motherwell this weekend. They're expected to win that game. Up against Milan, who, of course, beat Torino last time around, taking on Lazio this weekend. Lazio beat Torino this weekend. They're taking on Milan this weekend. They're expected to lose that game as well. So the tails will probably be down a little bit on this one, of course. The odds for this, 9-5 is your Celtic, 5-2 draw, 11-8 is, of course, your away win. We're going home on this one. 2-0 win. Celtic with a bang on this one. So where do we put the bloody booster on this one? I think we're going to have to play safe with a Bayern game on this one, and I'm even going to change that to 3-0. Yeah, oh yes, indeed. I'll check it out on it, guys. And that, of course, is my picks. Of course, don't forget your own picks as well for the Super Brew, which, of course, is on your screen right about now. Of course, there's the link, Cutley/ECL2324. Get in amongst it. Of course, we'll be back next time around for some more picks in the Champions League, but until then, we're out of here.